Hey there. I'm glad you decided to click on the video. This is my first Let's Play. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I'm pretty nervous right now. But so I might sound like a little off at times or not really in my element, but as I do more of these like parts and videos, hopefully I can, sound more natural and get better with the flow. But this is my second channel, PaiPlays, which I've now turned into a Let's Play channel. My main channel is Pyson, or the at is Jan the Manga Man, and I've always wanted to do this kind of content for many years, even before my main channel was a thing. So yeah, I'm really excited to do this. And the game I decided to choose as the first is Pikmin 1. I'm gonna play the Switch version because I do think it's a definitive way to play it. I played it earlier this year during the spring. I finally got the Pikmin 1 and 2 HD pack, and yeah, and I'm a very like big nostalgia ridden person, so I would usually say just play the original, but in this case, I think the Switch version um is the way to go. So Pikmin, this game is uh from quite a while ago. It's from one of the near launch titles of the GameCube way back in 2001. I remember receiving this. I can't specifically remember if it was like a birthday present or if it was a Christmas present. But I did get this game during that time when I was like around 4 or 5 years old. And I picked this game as my first. I'm gonna pick the second file here because it's like, even when I was a toddler, I played video games like with my brother. With my grandpa was like the big gamer. He had everything pretty much at the time, all the systems and stuff. And I played all that, so video games were just like it's like they were toys to me, like they were everywhere, and I was just used to them. But then this game was gifted to me, and it just changed everything. It's what set my directory into my obsession with video games. Like, my absolute love and adoration for this medium came from this game right here, so I thought it was the appropriate one to choose to do as the first Let's Play, because it just means that much to me. It's what essentially truly started my journey into gaming. But yeah, as you can see here, intro showed our protagonist getting hit by a meteor. I don't know how in the world he can get himself hit like that when he had all that space out there, and yet that one meteor out of nowhere just smacks into him. Yeah, the one thing I'm not as keen with this remaster, HD remaster, is that the ground textures still look a little off. They still look like the original textures from way back then, and they look very jarring compared to like the updated models and stuff. Alright, my name is Captain Olimar. While traveling through space, my ship was struck by a meteor. I must have blacked out, and I awoke on the surface of a weird planet, with so many parts lost. The skeletal hull of my beloved dolphin is a painful sight. The engine is gone. I'm stranded. To make matters worse, my atmospheric sensors indicate this planet's environment contains high levels of poisonous oxygen. My life support systems can function for 30 days. If I can't repair the dolphin by then. No, better not to think about it. I must find the missing ship parts. Alright, so as you saw from that introductory message from Olimar, pretty much the point of the game is that you need to find your 30 ship parts that fell out of your ship as you crash landed, and if you don't, then you're gonna succumb to the poisonous oxygen here and game over. So kind of a survival sense there, and kind of a different approach to a Nintendo game at the time. This is like really unique compared to anything else they had made at the time. As you can see, this little guy is very tiny. You can see here are some like regular flowers. So yeah, this guy's probably like an inch tall, by the way. It's like as tall as like your pinky or something. Yeah, the scale of this game is really small. Alright, let's go ahead and get to the objective here. This encounters some Pikmin already. And the way you're gonna actually go about, getting your ship parts will be using this little guy that just popped out. A strange thing has appeared before me. I had barely begun my search when it reared up as if it were waiting for me. It then dropped a single seed. What is it? Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we call an onion. I shall call it an onion too. Alright. Here, now I can mess with the camera here. Yeah, that ground texture being still the original textures from back then is very jarring with the updated models. The seed that the onion dropped took a root in the soil and has now produced an adorable little sprout. This sprout emits a strange light, and it sways back and forth without benefit of wind. I cannot help but think it is calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A. Let's see what happens. Will curiosity kill the cat? Oh, look at that. There's our first Pikmin. Extraordinary! When I plucked the sprout, it turned out to be a living creature, not a plant. Picking it has done no visible damage. It just stands there, staring at me. Its shape is similar to the Pick brand carrots I love so much. I believe I shall call it a Pikmin. Here I am, stranded on a toxic planet, fighting to survive, and yet I'm intrigued. I must research this fascinating creature. I shall try to grab it and throw it with A. And I will call it, and this is just him explaining a bunch of the controls. You're able to call back with your whistle with B, throw it with A, and you press X to dismiss them. And then it just kind of lists out the controls here if you want for the cameras and all that stuff. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. Say, I can show you some of these controls right now. The right stick, lets you move the camera left and right like this. If you press up and down, it like puts it in a bird's eye perspective or just regular perspective. Then ZL resets the camera. ZR either zooms in or zooms out. I prefer to sometimes just have a regular length here. Alright. What's happening now? What does this Pikmin think of me? I must observe its reactions. The more things I try, the more reactions I can catalog. I shall attempt to grab and throw it with A and call it to my side using B. Perhaps it will react to pressing. Yeah, it's just telling you to try the controls. So you throw these Pikmin with A. As you can see here, I threw it to this plant here. And as you can see, it starts carrying the object back to the onion. Its home. Astonishing! The onion has sown more seeds. The small red pellet the Pikmin harvested from cutting down a flower appears to be some type of food that can propagate more Pikmin. The onion seems to be a sort of incubator. Needless to say, I must study this strange life form more. So yeah, you're basically tasked to use your Pikmin to carry things back to your onion. Some of it is food, like it said, like Olimar said, and some of it will be the ship parts that you'll need to escape the planet. And you're gonna do with these little guys. These guys are the red Pikmin. I won't say any more for now, but there are other types of Pikmin that we'll meet later. Alright, we've got 5 little ones now. Let's see. Let's carry this 5 with us. Yeah, as you can see, now I guess I'll explain a bit more about what this kind of game is. This game is like a very heavily modified real-time strategy game. But instead of you having like an overview like this over the entire, playing field, which you can, as you can see, you can actually have this kind of perspective to give you that same feeling of what kind of game it derived from. But instead, you take command of one character and command the units this way. So you see here, I can like have them file up. This is called the swarming. It's one of the most useful abilities in the early games. So yeah, you use this captain or player character, in this case Captain Olimar, so you can just explore this treacherous, mysterious planet, which is definitely not Earth or anything. As you can see here, I used the, you can see there it says 10 on it, and that indicates that this needed 10 Pikmin to push this box. Yeah, I love how you can mess with the environment like this. Like, this is just like a regular box to us, but to them it's an obstacle they have to push out of the way. I love little details like that. It's so cool. The Pikmin are as curious as children. They form groups to perform tasks that would be impossible for an individual. A glimmer of hope has begun to shine in my heart. If I can make use of their skills, perhaps I can fix my ship. I shall sum up all I've learned of Pikmin conduct. Approach and hold A to pick sprouts, and press A to grab Pikmin, release and throw. Yeah, it's just going. It's gonna repeat a lot. So you can just skip that. Ah, what's this? There it is, baby. What a convenience, by the way. Like, Olimar is probably the most luckiest Nintendo character of all time with this. Is that amazing? There's no mistaking it. My ship's engine rests right before my very eyes. By a stroke of pure luck, I have already stumbled upon the most important piece of my damaged craft. Fate has smiled upon me, but how will I get it back to the dolphin? Good question, Olimar. See, that's what I really like about Olimar. He feels, despite him being like a 1 inch tall alien, he feels very human. And you'll see more of that as I continue playing the game. As you can see here, this costs 20 Pikmin to carry, so I can't carry that back with me for now. Now let's just keep getting more Pikmin around here. Alright, some more pellets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm remembering correctly, I think you're only able to get like 25 max in the first day, even though the engine itself is 20. So you don't have to get all 25, but I would recommend you try to get as many as possible. Well, I think you remember how earlier I said that one of my like favorite I said that this version of the game makes it better than the previous. I think one of the biggest changes, and it's like more apparent if you had played the original versions, is the response times of the Pikmin. Like the way that the Pikmin come to you as I hold A to throw, their responsiveness, their response time when you throw has been increased, their AI is just overall better. And it makes, and also you can just, hold on. When many Pikmin spring sprout as ones, I've found it rather tedious to pluck them from the ground individually. My wife always told me I was no good at routine tasks. I guess I'll try to get it all done by holding A. Oh, I was literally just about to mention this before. So basically, in the original version, you had to keep pressing A to keep plucking them out. But in like the second game onwards, all you had to do was just press A or hold A, so you can just continue plucking, and they finally implemented that into the first game. So another very neat change. I see. I've noticed that when I add Pikmin to my group, they become filled with excitement and flushed with bright color. At other times, they Revert to a paler hue and give off a dim glow. Paying close attention to these differences is bound to help me distinguish between Pikmin. What he's talking about is, you see them right here. This is their dismissed form. Whenever they're not being attended to at the moment, they're just kind of chilling, and they turn into that dim hue that he mentioned. Again, this game's very colorful and detailed, as you can see. A lot of intricate details are placed throughout this game like that, especially to make these creatures feel even more alive. Let's see. Oh, I missed one flower. While they do that, I'll keep carrying back the engine. Again, he's like literally the luckiest Nintendo character ever, because imagine the odds of you finding the most necessary part for you to move your ship, the engine, right nearby. Imagine if it had like flung all the way across the entire planet. He would have been done for. Okay, I think the way I'm going to do this Let's Play is, I think I'm just gonna do them per day, because this game has a day system. Like, you go day in and day out, as you already know from the story that you only have 30 days to get all ship parts. So I'll do a part a day and see how that goes. But yeah, we're about to finish this first day now. Yeah, first day is pretty chill. It's first days in Pikmin games are always just tutorials that don't have like any time limit or anything. Yeah, there's the engine down there in the bottom. The ship magically turns itself around and everything, and never understood that. Oh, glorious! With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back toward home. My ship can once again lift off. The glimmer of hope is beginning to burn more brightly. But what has become of the remaining parts? That search starts tomorrow. Alright. That was the first day in the Pikmin 1. We got 25 red Pikmin, and we got the engine. Yeah, there was no time limit or timer on this day, but on the next day, it's gonna have a timer, so I'm gonna have to start, moving quickly. I'm sorry if I'm also talking too much. By the way, I would appreciate any feedback about what you've been watching, because I would really appreciate it, so I can like continue onward with the feedback in mind. I'd really appreciate it, by the way, like any comments or suggestions. One day since impact, I have somehow managed to launch the dolphin, but I was surprised to see the onion lift off with me. Perhaps the Pikmin cannot survive overnight on the planet's surface, or have they merely decided to join me for other reasons? Either way, it seems they will help me again tomorrow. The dolphin is missing 29 parts. If I can't recover them all, I may never return home to my family on planet Hakatate. That's where he comes from, by the way, planet Hakatate. Analysis shows life supports will function for only 29 more days. How can I repair my dolphin in such a short time? A dense forest is visible on the surface below as it holds the keys to my survival. I'll name it the Forest of Hope. I'll explore it tomorrow. By the way, this is like my favorite area, probably in the entire franchise. It's a magical place. Yeah. Okay, 30 days to get 30 ship parts might sound very daunting, but I promise you it's not that bad. Like, you're gonna be getting multiple ship parts a day if you know what you're doing, and it's honestly not gonna be that big of a deal. But for a first timer, I can see it being kind of a hard time. But yeah, at the end of the day, you get this Pikmin population chart. Shows you how many you grow, sprouted, how many you lose in battle, how many you leave behind, and like how many you have in total of each color, and the parts and days remaining. So let's go ahead and save. All right, that's part 1 of my very first Let's Play, Pikmin 1. get very excited to finally start this off, and um, I'll see you guys on the next part. Bye.